And welcome, everybody. Welcome to the YouTube Saints. We are the only show to be banned from transgender service by the military. That's right. I am Jeff Holiday, and with me, as always, is my partner in crime, Nick, a.k.a. the Wizard of Cause. How you doing, buddy?
Oi, how's it going? I see all the regulars are in the chat there. I hope you enjoyed that that bit of techno swing going on. Comes to us once again from our boy TeknoAXE. He's actually provided a number of tracks for my channel, including that really dope poem, which goes at the beginning and end of each of them. So
yeah, that thing is dope.
Cheers to him. Yeah.
Cheers indeed. Well, it's been a hell of a week. A wild, crazy fucking week. And I guess, Jesus Christ, man, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of happy that it's over, but it's kind of like staring into the face of death because you just know next week is going to be even more insane than this one was.
Yeah, it's, we make a lot of jokes about being the internet oncologists diagnosing the cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Was plenty of it this week, but these last couple weeks, but particularly this week to speak specifically, it's been like rounds of chemo on its own, and it's like I got to go back and do that again next week.
Oh yeah.
But then again, that's why we do this show, so that we can have a good fun time, laugh at the silly, stupid shit we had to observe, and get blind, blithering drunk by the end of it.
Yeah. Oh, cheers to that. Holy fucking shit. Mm-hmm. And it's so blistering fucking hot. Periodically, you're gonna be seeing me grabbing my sprayer and moistening myself. Tariq Nasheed was right.
Oh, our Rhino, you don't want to know what's in my glass tonight. It's nothing. It's nothing I'm proud of. I'll tell you that much. It's it's garbage Merlot. We'll say that much.
Ooh, shitty Merlot. There's actually a great DJ friend of mine here in town, and his hit song is Shitty Merlot. It's pretty great.
It brings you to all kinds of wonderful decisions, and they're the kind of things which either can last for 18 years to a lifetime, or alternately can result in a clinic visit. So we'll see which way I go on tonight.
Gotcha.
Please just be my clinic visit. I can't afford any more child support, Jeff.
Some people are saying that there's Roundup in this, and I am neither going to confirm nor deny that.
Well, Roundup's completely safe for human beings.
But it's a great product. If you want to join in the conversation, you see the ticker that we have down below. You can use hashtag YTSaints. Maybe it'll get put up on the ticker, that kind of shit. But other than that, I think we're just going to jump straight into the motherfucking news. What do you think?
I think that's a good fun time.
All right, let's do that. Let's see what kind of amazing upbeat stories we had this week.
What did we dredge out of the river tonight, boys and girls?
Well, turns out transgender military ban. White House admits it doesn't know what will happen to serving personnel after Donald Trump's announcement. And this story conflicts me. And let me tell you why.
Why does it conflict you, Jeff?
Because that means that not only does not the military, but also the whole rest of the White House has no idea what the fuck is going to happen because Donald just decided to announce this? Like, there was no strategy?
It's I know it really bucks the trend for what we've come to expect from the Trump White House. We're used to like very stately processes and managed expectations, followed by very mature press conferences where the policies are ultimately announced. But it's been kind of. I did a video on it earlier. I don't know who in the audience or who may or may not have caught it, but I just found the entire clusterfuck of a story to just be so fascinating. On the one hand, you've got Trump tweeting out that he's going to be banning all transgender people from the military. Then a bunch of people, boo, others are like, yeah. And then they're shooting back and forth. They're just like lobbing shots over each other's bows about unit cohesion versus civil rights, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then to find out that there's no actual defined plan or commitment. It's basically just him, like, he was on this shitter one day, like, no longer going to be fucking autocorrect. This autocorrect every time. Yeah.
Sad.
So,
this was the first problem. The president announced his decision in a stream of tweets on Tuesday morning. Look. Look. Twitter is not the appropriate platform for announcing wide-sweeping changes to the entire fucking country.
Defense policy changes being announced to the country on Twitter.
What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my fucking god, dude!
Now we've got this video, and even on the video here within the article, it's straight up just a question. What's the plan?
Oh yeah,
and the answer is
this?
There is no plan. Can we get away with playing this?
We could try.
I'd hate to get a DMCA against this. That's never happened before.
Oh yeah, never happens to us. Fuck.
Alright, we'll leave it to chat. You guys want to see this video? It's just a quick Q&A.
It's way too quiet. It's way too quiet.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and the long and short of the video, though, it's basically just the White House press corps asking what the plan is, and then what's her name? Sanders. I keep forgetting the new press secretary's name.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Huckabee Sanders. That's it. Yeah, Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying there is no plan. We'll let you know. Twice. And yeah. Now, on the issue itself, and I'll just summarize my thoughts real quick, and then I'll leave it to you to summarize yours. I can't get over how interesting this issue is, though, because the more you think about it, the more questions you come to. I mean, there's transgender people serving already, and as far as anyone can tell, they're doing a damn fine job. And so there's that question. Then there's also the question of, okay, but if we do open it up fully and openly to this, will that affect pronouns in terms of sir and ma'am? No, of course you call everyone sir, but what happens when somebody is a bun self? Well, that's a yeah. Now, will this lead to an onslaught
bun sergeant? Oh my god.
Yeah. Now it is easy to walk down that path and think maybe this will lead to a whole bunch of Technicolor twink Tumblrites signing up down at the recruiter's office, because they want to, break new grounds for their identities and such. But the reality remains that the military has always been discriminatory. That's kind of part of what it does.
You kind of have to be.
Yeah,
kind of have to be.
Yeah, with a professional volunteer military. Now, it is kind of funny to me, though, too, that, I would imagine, and I don't have the numbers on this, if anybody wants to check, but I would imagine that many of the same people who are upset that there's ostensibly going to be a ban on transgender people entering the military, and I would imagine that would probably more affect the mid-transition or gender fluid types than the people who just, if someone who used to be Amanda shows up and name's now Arnold, and Arnold's fucking stacked, and Arnold can smoke PT, and Arnold answers all the psychiatrist questions with, I don't know, what's the problem here?
Yeah.
If it's like, if you're like, well, you can hump, fuck, good for you, on the go. But yeah, with that, I have a feeling that most of the same people who are calling it a constitutional right and saying it's an atrocious thing and all of this are probably the same people who find the notion of women being drafted unacceptable. So
Probably. So, Miss Huckabee Sanders, and by the way, can we just point out the fact that that's a really, really weird, loaded, and unfortunate name to have. Huckabee Sanders, really strange.
Listen, she just believes that God intended for everyone to have health care.
Right, okay, alright, that sounds good. She said the decision, which she defended as purely tactical, was made after extensive discussions with Mr. Trump's national security team. Then why did they let him tweet it? Fuck, my god. Like, I mean, we could have just a basic conversation about it. We could break a lot of this stuff down, and that'd be one thing. But the thing that just keeps sticking with me is, why was it tweeted? Why? Like, no press conference. No. Press conference is sad, low energy. Everybody's all about the tweeting now. Like, fuck off. Oh my god.
I'm gonna watch. I'm actually considering signing this bill. I'm gonna put it up on Instagram, and I'm gonna let my followers decide if I should sign it or veto it.
No. Tax policy voted on by Twitter polls and shit like that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Now, I will say this, though. If this is him trying to court a base and, like, fire a shot across the bow of the progressive left and all those, again, rainbow-haired twinks and such, I kind of wish he'd just pump the brakes a little bit and thought to himself, whoa, maybe military service might unfuck them a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Let's do some super chats real quick, and then let's get to the next one.
Yeah. That's a bright story too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Everything's a bright story today. We got Prince Adu, stream blessings, still battling stuff, but life is changing. Adore you both, have fun, adopted uncles, have some RG pocket change. Thank you very much. We love you, Prince. Anil Nair, hey Jeff, what food do you recommend? Vitamin cummies or cornflakes? Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Guys, don't spam the super chat with $5 or $10 donations just to get Jeff to say the words he hates. Don't do that.
Dragon in the West. Jeff, teach Ben how to read past super chats. I'll try. They get a lot of super chats on DP though. Girl in a hat. Is this another Kofifi shitpost? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Rhino says no more Kofifi in the military. Sad, glad, bad. It's good. Big Mike says the military has ignored Trump's tweets. What does that say? It says that maybe he shouldn't be announcing things in fucking tweets. I can't. And Sunburnt 2 Turnt says slips 5 under the table and whispers, "Follow me on Twitter." I'll look you up, man.
Yeah, go follow us. That you just really straight up misgendered Sunburnt. So that's a lady, dude.
That's not a lady?
It's an actual lady. Yeah.
Then I'll definitely follow you on Twitter. Ooh, sexism! So, the next story is... North Korea threatens to annihilate the U.S. as Trump declares era of patience is over. Oh dear. Is this the end of the world?
Well, I mean, I couldn't think of a better person to be negotiating hostilities with North Korea than Donald Trump. You're small. You're a small man. He's small. It's small military. Other than, again, you gotta. I do love, though. I think a lot of people have seen it by now. That video of like North Korea, because they always love showing off their military. Mm-hmm. It's like, we've got a military still. Yeah, you don't have any fucking food though, do you? But they line all these artillery pieces up on the beach and just shoot west into the ocean, and it's like all we need is just like one small squadron of warthogs. It's just burp, burp, burp right through there. And then it's like, well, I guess the return parade's going to be a little awkward now, isn't it, Lil Kim? No. But this is I don't know. It's one of these things I never know which way to go. On the one hand, North Korea is always saber rattling. And on the other hand, we kind of like, we don't even need to rattle our sabers. We just kind of glance down to them and look cockeyed at them like, really, son? But I do kind of feel at the same time, though, either that could go on forever, or that will surprise the living shit out of us when we finally realize that trying the containment strategy maybe didn't work, and all of a sudden, oh wow, they really do have missiles that can reach our west coast. And now Los Angeles is gone.
Right. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Chris Reagan.
We know a lot more people than just Chris down there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's pretty insane though, because you never really know how much of this is just fluff or how much of this is like legit. And there's enough spooky shit about North Korea that actually does make it kind of not just smoke up the ass. I mean, the fact that it's run by effectively the generals all vying for power, half of them just as fucking batshit insane as Kim Jong-il was. I mean, you know?
Yeah. Kim Jong-un being like led around by the, just by the lapel by a bunch of white wizened old men who've been around for 3 generations now sometimes. And, no, I mean, it's one of these terrifying things, and I said on a stream earlier or yesterday, I can't really remember at this point, where it is genuinely difficult to believe that, like, when you find out what that place is like, when you find out the shit that goes on there, it's so difficult to genuinely believe, like, this exists in this world that we have now. I mean, it's one thing to say, huge swaths of the world live in abject poverty that hasn't been seen since the Dark Ages. Wow, that's fucked up. But then you're like, oh, no, it gets weirder. Trust me.
Yeah, way weirder. Way worse. Way worse.
Can we all though? Can I want to ask the chat here? Can you guys all just smash the one button if you want to thank Best Korea for all of the humanitarian aid they'd offered us here in the United States and in the West? Because that's actually what they're taught, that we're all starving and they're giving us aid. So I mean, it's just oh yeah, no,
really,
yeah, that's North Korean, yeah, North Korean. No, well, no one's allowed to know anything about the outside world, and what they're taught in North Korea is that North Korea is best, most prosperous nation. And it's just the evil West who keeps trying to take down their prosperity, and they don't even appreciate all of the food that North Korea sends to us.
Thank you, North Korea. Thank you. You fed my child tonight. I'm so grateful. What the fuck?
In the words of your southern neighbors, and I'm probably gonna fuck this up. 안녕 가세요.
Okay.
Basically, it's a very long version of goodbye. What I learned from some Korean shop owners is that when they say hello and goodbye, it's 안녕 계세요 and 안녕 가세요. One says goodbye, travel safely, and the other one is basically goodbye, stay here safely.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
so just stay where you are, Kim.
Today I learned that Koreans are Hawaiians, and they have the same word for hello and goodbye.
That's really racist. Let's move on.
Okay. Super chats. We got Anime Moon. I researched the oversub last week, the million sub to make that happen. And Rui is his girlfriend. Hashtag end my suffering with cummies. Huh. I don't know who Rui is, but I can't even say that shit. Weeb name.
No.
JT Viper.
Yeah, there were some people who were a bit salty over the choice for last week.
They really were. They were like, he does that on purpose, and I'm like, I don't know. I've never seen him before. It's cringy.
Fun. Yeah, listen. I mean, there was something that's worth noting too. The there's no personal animosity, and if there is, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll be able to tell if we have actual animosity with them.
Yeah. I don't think anybody watching us now, or anybody who's seen our channels or our show before, has. I don't think they really need to make any guesstimates as to when there's actual animosity going on.
Yeah. Yeah. One of us starts getting heated, and the other's like, "Okay, calm down."
Or I start making jokes, and you're laughing, and you're like, and I'm like, "Oh, what's he trying to say?" Fuck it, who cares? So about that armored skeptic, huh?
Let's not get into it again. Jesus Christ. Wait, are you drinking wine tonight? Oh yeah, you're drinking Merlot.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your shit. But yeah, I mean, so if the guy intentionally was supposed to be cringy from our oversub last week, then he succeeded because he baited us into pooping on him. So it was effective. It's not like anybody actually unsubbed from him because we like pooped on him a little bit. He might have gotten more subs.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever destroyed a channel.
No, fuck no. That's because it's oversubbed. We don't poop on little guys. Unless they ask us to or give us money. JT Viper, Twitter is so over. Policy changes on mines. Chip Walton, hello guys, been looking forward to this all week. Hashtag respect the format. Hey, cheers to the format. Format be praised.
Oh yeah.
Rhino. Do we really think China's going to allow North Korea to fuck with its wallet? Their economy is our dollars. It depends. The thing is not necessarily if China's going to allow it. It's if
North Korea is going to give a shit.
North Korea is going to give a shit, basically, and they just do it. John Walter, how does it feel to be in the skeptic community? Forced.
I'll say sticky.
Little sticky. It's sticky.
A little salty.
Yeah.
Salty.
Dead Bear whispers, "Don't follow me on Twitter, commies." Thank you. Base Mama, we love you, Base Mama. Karen, the Red Pill movie is now on Amazon Prime. That's right, and we'll be talking about the Red Pill movie. And Jesse Pestana, I'm drunk. Try moonshine. By the way, you're both fucking great. You're fucking great.
You're fucking great. You're fucking great, homie.
One more news story, and we'll get Karen on. I'm excited about this. You want to tell us about this next news story?
All right, well, this... Have you ever wondered what the darkest timeline looks like? Have you ever continually found yourself wondering why it was last time when you thought you knew what it looked like, something came along and proved you wrong? I want you to keep that in mind when you realize that, well, according to this article here, this Yeah. Kid Rock, it's looking like he might actually have at least in the polls, a really solid chance at becoming a senator from Michigan. Yeah. Kid Rock, remember Family Values tour? No, of course you don't. I'm an old fuck. I was around for that. I know you guys don't. Should probably do. I tried to make it actually to Boston, but I couldn't. But yeah, Kid Rock, competitive candidate for U.S. Senate in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess this really is one of these things, and I've announced it already, but I'll do another announcement here. I will be running for state representative here in New Hampshire, Manchester Ward 3 next year. I have to credit, President Trump and honestly Kid Rock at this point, because if they've proven anything to me, it's that anyone, and I mean
anyone,
literally anyone, can have a shot at public office.
Oh yeah.
So now it is a fun thing, though. One thing that this story does kind of piss me off, because I've never seen or heard or read anything from Kid Rock that actually brings him, that brings across any air of statesmanship, leadership qualities, intelligence in general, or education. And when you couple that with his persona and what he presents himself to be, that being this trailer trash kid who just made it big in music because fuck the haters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that story. Everyone loves that story. That's probably why he made it up. Because I don't know if you're gonna bring it up right now, but the trailer home that Kid Rock grew up in, and honestly, I never cared enough about Kid Rock to check this out. So thanks to TJ, the amazing atheist, there for actually bringing this together and showing me this for the first time. Kid Rock's family trailer. Oh man, I mean, I gotta wonder if when he's ordering grits, does he have to ask his manservant if it tastes anything like the quail that his father used to hunt? Because this is a 5 or 6 bedroom, 3 or 4 bath, 5-car garage with a tennis court and a swimming pool sitting on stupid acres of land.
Mm-hmm. It's for sale. It's for sale right now for $1.3 million.
Yeah, Kid Rock, everybody's favorite white trash homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
And where's the home actually? Where was it located?
I don't know. Let's look at this. It's from Oakland Press.
I'm on the wrong side again.
Macomb County Real Estate, Bruce Township. Where the hell is that?
What state?
Bruce Township. I don't know. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that land there, and it does look rather underkempt. I mean, it looks. It
is in Michigan. It is absolutely Michigan.
Yeah, and here's the thing, that is not a down south trailer park. He was not scooting around on fucking 4-wheelers with his friends who are wondering if their fucking cousin's gonna give birth to their 3rd child. And I'm not even fucking making fun of Southern folk, because honestly, when people say salt of the earth, those backwater redneck Southern country folk that Kid Rock honestly likes to fucking lampoon as part of his image are the fucking best people you will typically meet.
Is that a fucking tennis court?
Yeah, that's a tennis court.
There's a fucking tennis court on Kid Rock's childhood home.
Yeah, but he's straight out of the trailer. Now, if you want somebody from Michigan who actually came up out of shit and actually made a fucking stellar fucking music career saying fuck the haters the whole time, you got Eminem.
Yep, you got Eminem.
But I guess you can go with Kid Rock.
He's not running for senator, though he should. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, too, and we got a prominent MRA coming on. I'm pretty sure the two of them have some wonderful conversations about their opinions of the fair sex.
Yeah. All right. Well, sweet. I think we're gonna do super chats one more time, and then we'll get Karen in. So we got. Oh man, I always have to readjust this thing every time. Have you had Goodfella on before? No, we've not. But we both know Goodfella. He's a good dude. I like that guy.
Yeah. Honestly, I might even invite him just so his accent can fucking piss off half the chat there. What did he say?
Yeah.
What did he say?
was
even
him
Undoomed,
him and
Undoomed
Skeptor.
even admits. Yeah, Undoomed admits that he's like I like the guy, but I don't know what he's saying half the time.
Yeah, it was him and Skeptor that actually put me on the very first live stream I was ever on. So I'll always love both those guys because of that. Hugh Rogers, Jeff, you're the greatest shitlord, and please bring back Mr. Wiggles. He'll be back. Nick, you should host a meetup for the local Masshole subscribers. Hashtag comes for life.
That will be happening. I got to coordinate with Vernaculus because it's fun if I show up, but it's good if a bigger YouTuber shows up too. That way I can get drunk in the corner with the hardcores.
Staggerson Jags, oi to you. Girl in a hat, can we just change this timeline so that celebrities can't become our leaders? Also, I'd vote for you, Nick. Don't hashtag don't live in your state. Okay.
That's okay. We'll just budge some numbers, a little bit of voter fraud. I'll run as a Democrat and no one will bother.
It'll be fine. Kenneth G says, you are all fucking awesome. Praise Ket. Can someone please smack Trump's hand next time he loads up on Twitter? Oh, I went to the Family Values tour, by the way, Nick. Early corn was the shit. Well, I'm very appreciative of that. Most people don't. Never mind.
No, early corn was the shit. And honestly, when they came out, Limp Bizkit was pretty dope at the time. If you were whipping down the main drag in your buddy's Honda Civic hatchback 5-speed with the windows down, and like some kind of Limp Bizkit Family Value shit's playing, and you lean out the window, but you got to grab your Adidas visor so it doesn't blow off because you can't afford another one. You understand what it was to be alive in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jinko jeans.
Oh, God, let's not talk about Jinko jeans. Okay, let's get Karen.
Let's talk about Jinko jeans.
Let's not talk about
you
Jinko jeans.
You and I. In front of people.
Oh, my God.
How many pairs do you still own?
I don't own any anymore. Not anymore.
Well.
But,
Yeah. Well, tonight's guest, you all know her. It's Karen Straughan. Girl writes what? Here she comes.
There she is. All right.
I own 4 pairs of pants. Total. You think any of them are Jinkos?
What?
Karen, do you own any Jinkos?
Own any what? What are they?
Jinko jeans.
Are they like, I thought you were talking about like some kind of weird lizard or something like that.
Not that far off.
No, I actually I don't spend more than $50 on any piece of clothing other than maybe a leather jacket.
It's always a good policy. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that if you know that the brand name, that they're going to be expensive, right?
Well, not anymore. They're probably cheap as fuck now. I'm just guessing from that answer, you're not as big a Kid Rock fan as some other people, huh?
I think he peaked at Ba What to Ba.
Yeah.
And then after
he started.
Well, I mean, because that Ba What to Ba, that's like a total earworm. That one, if I hear it on the radio, it'll be going through my head for days.
Yep.
Right. But I think that was where he peaked, and then after that, I really didn't have any interest in him. I'm glad that my kids didn't really listen to him because because it's one thing to have like an 18-year-old who you can like listen to the same music and you're like banging your head in the car and stuff, right? But when you're like hearing your 10-year-old yell "suck my dick," and stuff along with the music, it's a little different. So
I should probably stop showing my 9-year-old Eminem videos then, huh?
That's different.
Yeah, that's big money, Quinn.
Part of me is just like I don't really care that much, and like in terms of what they do and say. Like he's turning 15 tomorrow, and he's got to be almost 6 feet tall now.
Oh boy.
And he's an IRL shitlord. He's shitposted in real life. That's his thing.
I like him already.
Everybody around him crazy, and but you just got to play his game against him. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, so hey, so you were featured in the Red Pill movie. And I really wanted to share this with you because, so I recently became very friendly with Lacey Green, hung out with her quite a bit, got to see her at VidCon. I was the one that showed her the Red Pill. Me and Memory sat down, we watched it, and I firmly believe, because that was what we talked about probably the most, your segment in that movie was probably the thing that struck her the most and kind of like took her breath away. So that was pretty interesting. That was a fascinating experience.
Well, what's interesting, what's the most interesting to me about what I said in the movie, particularly about the Boko Haram thing, is that, like, I didn't realize at the time because it was so underreported on.
Yeah.
But, you know, because I had, you know, when I'm telling people, you know, online arguing with feminists and stuff, and I'm saying, well, you know, like, they killed all these boys, right? And then they finally kidnapped a bunch of girls and everyone lost their fucking minds. And they say, well, that's because these girls are still alive and there's hope of escape and rescue, right? There's hope to rescue them. The boys are dead, but the girls could be rescued, and that's why everybody's upset, and that's why everybody is putting in this effort. And unbeknownst to me at the time that I filmed that interview, there have been over 10,000 boys kidnapped by Boko Haram over the last several years.
Wow. And
the Nigerian government has actually come out and just said they're not worth rehabilitating. We're going to take out Boko Haram. We're going to take out ISIS. We're going to take them all out. They're dead. They're just as dead as any other person holding a machine gun for that group. And because it's just not worth the bother and the expense of rescuing them and rehabilitating them. So,
wow.
So, yeah, so, I mean, like, it was even worse than what I was saying in the movie, right? And, but yeah, no, Cassie really, like, I have to credit her in terms of her filmmaking, because if she just played me saying that, it would have just fallen flat. But then she followed it with that gorgeous montage of news stories with the music playing in the background of, you know, demonstrating everything I said, that this was something that the West knew about, that the governments of the West knew about for a long time, and nobody did shit about it because it was just boys and men, and the odd woman who was caught in the crossfire. So yeah, it was just, I mean, like, she chose that. There was about 3 hours of interview time that I did with her, 2 or 3 hours. With
her film, honestly, it was. I mean, I watched a lot of documentaries, and I found a lot of times, and maybe, you know, naturally I've got a bias because this was, you know, one of the first documentaries I've seen outside of Divorce Court, which, like, touched on the issue, which got me rolling in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But I found, like, most documentaries I'd be watching and I'd be sitting there waiting, and I'd kind of come to a point when I'm like, all right, now bring it home, give me a conclusion, end the film. And this one, I was like, I knew when it was coming, and I just wanted it to keep going. It wasn't even the political angle or anything like that, or the whole notion of watching a feminist get red pilled. It was just really interesting to watch the journey she went through, effectively, from one perspective to another. And it fucking that was fucking hard hitting. It was brilliant, and it was a goddamn beautiful documentary. I was really glad when I saw, like, you and Allison, Hannah, and even Dean. I don't get along too well with Dean.
See, I was
these days, yeah, no.
I was about to say,
he's hard to get along with.
It's a masterful filmmaker that can put Dean Esme into a movie, and I don't immediately just go, but instead I was like, all right, what does he have to say? Oh, okay, that's not that bad. Okay, all right.
Well, yeah, I mean, just because we're on this subject, though, actually, Karen, before I even started my YouTube channel, a lot of people talk about what red pilled them and such. I actually caught a friend shared your disposable mail video on Facebook while I was. Thankfully, I was towards the tail end, but I was in the midst of one of the worst parts of the family court fights I had been in.
Oh.
And it was, well, I watched a bunch of your videos, and then I ended up finding finding Mike's videos, and I'm like, wait, okay, it's not all serious. It doesn't always have to be serious. This is fun.
And cerebral, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, it still is, but it's presented more entertainingly in that sense. But and then it was funny because Mike to this day even says, like, wait, you found Sargon because of me. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it usually works the other way around. I'm like, yeah. But no, it is, it has been, it's been quite a trip, though, because I can still think to when I saw disposable mail and I watched and I saw the formation of honey badgers and I saw, like, what an MRA was. And I'm like, oh, wait. Okay, so I'm not just a freak who slipped through some cracks and got in the worst possible position. Like,
Yeah,
you
no,
found-
it wasn't just bad luck and slipping on a banana peel. Unless I guess maybe like the system threw like, I don't know, 1,000 banana peels in your way and then threw a bunch of mouse traps on top of them and said good luck, right?
Yeah, it's kind of what they do. Yeah, so.
And then,
like,
and then they're
unless
like,
that
and then they're like,
happened.
oh, you slipped on a banana peel and you got mouse traps all over you, like. Yeah,
well,
but you could have gotten through without that, and so it's not sexist.
Yeah, well, at the time, I mean, at the actual time, I was actually working the last campaign job I ever had because I did campaigns and all that shit for a while, and I was on this environmental campaign to get this feminist Democrat elected under the auspices of environmental justice, and I'm like, well, it's a job, so I'll do it. But
Jeff, was that you like sticking your fingers down your throat and going,
No.
I'm just a Democrat? Or
That was me muting my mic in OBS and then like and coughing over there.
Okay.
yeah, the mute didn't work, Bob. The mute didn't work.
Not on your end. It worked in the stream though.
Oh, I get it now. Yeah.
No,
well,
if I'm gonna make gagging noises about something in feminism and politics, I'll do it very overtly.
Okay.
Well, I really want to ask though, because so like Karen's been a figurehead of anti-feminism for a while. In fact, as long as it's had any kind of actual, public attention, as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been of the opinion lately myself that social justice and feminism, that the party is kind of starting to wind down for them, right? That you've even got like mainstream publications like Independent or Telegraph picking up on, holy shit, hey, these fuckers over here at the university, they're out of their goddamn minds. Sorry, let me rewrite that. A professor and yeah, but I mean, people are really starting to pick up on the same kind of shit that everyone from MRAs to run-of-the-mill shitlords have been talking about for years now. Do you think the party is over for intersectional feminism, or
no? Well, I think there is what we're seeing is positive improvement, and we're seeing an actual grassroots groundswell of opposition to that, right? But one thing I think that a lot of people don't understand is that it is the easy movements are the ones that have establishment support, right? And a lot of movements that bill themselves as grassroots have strong establishment support, like feminism, had always had strong support within politics, within sort of the elite, factions of society and all those things.
Don't they call that like astroturfing, like fake grassroots?
Yes and no. I mean, and here's the thing, because you can look at something like even first wave feminism and you can say, well, that was a grassroots movement because so many of the people involved were, it really was a lot like today, where you have these faculty and universities who are indoctrinating often vulnerable young people, right? Into being the foot soldiers and being the ones that actually put themselves at risk of arrest and things like that.
Useful idiots.
Yeah. And, but that doesn't necessarily, that's a grassroots, those young people. That is a grassroots. They believe they're grassroots. They're acting as if they're grassroots. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that doesn't mean that they don't have establishment support, right? They have support from academics within women's studies and interdisciplinary studies and all of those places. And they have all kinds of support from politicians and things like that, right? And these gigantic lobbying organizations, right? So, and there's a ton of money behind them. So you have this sort of, but when you look at the anti-SJW thing, right? We don't have, we have who? Philip Davies in the UK. We have, what's his name? Oh, fuck, he's got some weird Finnish or
Nicholas Skoroff in New Hampshire.
no,
yes.
in Australia, fuck, I was just watching a video of this today, right? We've got him there in the Senate there. We've got Ann Cools in the Senate in Canada.
Yep.
We've got, I guess we've got Earl Earhart in Georgia as a representative in the House of Representatives there.
And if you want to bring it up too, there is technically that Polish MP, European Parliament member.
Yeah. Who was like, I'm not saying women should earn less. I'm just telling you why they do.
They're shorter.
They're shorter. He's got a point. Tall women earn more than short women. Tall men earn more than short men. In fact, one of the hilarious things is I was reading a study a couple of years ago that found that when it comes to attractiveness, attractive people, average people, and unattractive people. Okay, so you take the average, that's the earnings. And attractive women get a bigger boost over the average woman in terms of pay. Mm-hmm. And unattractive women get a smaller penalty than unattractive men in terms of the average pay for their gender.
Wow.
So men get a smaller bonus, men get a bigger penalty. Women get a bigger bonus and a smaller penalty. Based on attractiveness.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, an unattractive woman still has an easier chance of a lonely manager with a shitty wife wanting to bang her than an unattractive man in the same situation.
Especially if she fetches his coffee with a smile, so...
Like I got your mail. Yeah, it's like I got your mail. This isn't my mail. I'm sorry. That's okay. Actually, I'll hold on to it. That's how you get to upper management. It's like, what the fuck does Davies have going on? Oh, your son's trying to get into Princeton, huh? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the executives think about this. How much do you want that promotion, Jacobs? Let's call Deborah back. Deborah, hike that skirt up a bit. I'm not body positive. Well, I am. Get to it.
You know what's hilarious? You know what's hilarious about men and women is women are so critical of their bodies, and it's like it's absolutely hilarious because you see like women's magazines and they got all these anorexic, really skinny women. You see men's magazines like Maxim and FHM.
And they've got really skinny women on them.
They don't have really skinny women. They have curvy women.
Oh, they're fit women.
But they have, they've got the nice waist to hip ratio.
Yeah,
but they got some tits, they got some ass, right? They got all of those things. But when you actually, that's the ideal that men like. But if there was not a woman on the planet who was under a size 12, right? Mm-hmm. Which is just where you're getting to the point where, your doctor will tell you to start losing a little weight, right?
Okay.
If there was not a woman on the planet who was smaller than that, men would make do. Men would find size 12 attractive.
Yeah?
They just would.
In general, my experience has been women seem to put more emphasis on body image altogether, both in terms of like they feel pressured to look a certain way that men don't necessarily need them to look that way. It's like one of these things. And I've had some fat, I've been with fat women in the past and didn't really care for it. When they're big, right? Little overweight, it's like great. I don't give a shit. Come on, what do you got? Yeah. And then like sometimes those perfect chiseled bodies, it's just like you're banging it and you're looking at it, and it's like your brain's like, keep looking at this and thinking about it. It's great, and your dick's like, don't think, just enjoy this shit. And it's like, wow, this isn't working for me. Meanwhile, men, we do like worry. It's like when like we hear like, oh, the dad bod's in shape. Everyone who has one's like, no, it's not. But thank you for saying that. I'm still gonna get a gym membership, fucking, but I'm not gonna worry about it that much.
Yeah. No, I think I'm extremely self-conscious, but it's also there are like strategies on how to deal with.
I noticed that you grabbed your tits there when you said that, Jim.
Yeah. Yes, I feel.
Oh no, as men, when
full.
we get titties, when we get titties, it's like, all right, I'm not in my 20s anymore, am I? Shit.
Yeah.
It's like you feel the gut and you're like, well, I earned that with good times. But these titties, I didn't intend on these.
Yeah.
Good
I
shit.
didn't bargain for that.
Yeah. I mean, but I've noticed kind of a trend too, is that, you know, when I was much younger, I had worse body issues, but I also had a better body, so it didn't affect
Yeah.
me as
Oh,
much.
me too. Me too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody does.
I had a smoking fucking. I look at pictures of myself from back then, and I thought, how could you feel insecure going out in a little black dress?
Same.
And
Right?
how come you
How
don't feel
the fuck
insecure
would
now,
you
right?
feel
I
that?
can't. I
Feel
have
that.
not been able to fit in my little black dress for at least 12 years. So I feel you. I understand.
Yeah.
And so that was a really good look he gave me too.
Yeah, and Karen, in case you weren't aware, Karen, Jeff actually, I have no doubt, actually does have a little black dress that he once fit into.
I do. I absolutely do. But you know, as I got older, the body issue stuff like decreased a little bit, but instead it became a tactic. Became like, well, I'm gonna obfuscate like my body issues by excessive confidence and overwhelming charisma. You know, like that's been
Or
how I've
so you
overcome it.
think.
That's the masculine approach, isn't
I've got
it?
I've got the track
the
record
man's
to prove
approach.
it. So
I'm sorry. I'm just giving you the ribbing that you so richly deserve.
I want it. Oh, I want it.
Okay.
No, that is a great thing, though. I think men and women, we can all agree, though, once you get past 33, not 32, early 30s, once you get past your early 30s, you're like, well, I ain't dead and I ain't obese. I look good. I'm going out.
Yeah. No, and it's like, I earned these fucking stretch marks. Fuck you. My last child was over 11 pounds, so you can fucking eat shit and die if you got a problem with that.
Oh shit.
So, yeah. So.
Well, we have an absolute fuck ton of people who I've been watching them pop up, and they have messages, and they want me to read them to you. So,
Oh God.
So let's do this.
Everything
We've got a great audience, Karen.
I
don't
hope
worry.
they roast the fuck out of me. I hope it's not all just like, I love you, you're so wonderful. I
Oh.
hope it's like, eat shit and die, Karen, and then
Oh no,
eat
it's more
shit.
clever. It's more clever than that. Don't
Okay.
worry. I'm sure.
So,
I know. I got my finger on the pulse.
Let's see. Winston Stalin says, "Would you guys consider having Naked Ape on? Potentially, maybe. We'll put him on the roster and we'll talk about it. Spectacular Wanderer. I'd love to go drinking with Nick, Karen, and the holidays. It'd be fun to see what everyone's first drink would be and who hits the floor first. Hashtag Jim Beam.
They will. They'll hit the floor first. Oh,
they will. Between the three of us and them, they'll probably hit the floor first.
Okay, but I will be the last man standing. I'm just telling you.
All right, Karen. Are you gonna be at VidCon next year?
My 15-year-old is demanding that I go, so
Okay.
maybe.
Well, maybe we'll put that to the test.
Oh, maybe we will.
All right.
Maybe we will. I'll have to start really training, not just the regular training of the liver, but
the Wizard of Cause training you're talking.
Yeah, the really go full hardcore Viking on this fucking liver.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
get so drunk I have to call in Doomed
I'm
in the
just
middle of the
gonna point
night
this out.
kind of drinking. I know. I've been there.
I'm out of wine. I gotta go get beer.
All right.
I will do that. No, not yet. I still have wine technically.
Okay.
That's you don't actually. Oh, see, there you go. You don't actually have any more wine, is what I was going to say.
It was a presumptive statement. I knew where it was going and it would disappear shortly. So I said I need. I was setting everyone up for my departure. I know if I leave abruptly, everyone gets all shaken.
Oh
So-
yeah.
All right. We won't be traumatized.
Big Mike
Continue,
says
stupid chat.
would not want them in Congress, but MC5. What's MC5 mean?
MC5. Are they like a boy band?
I don't know. I think he was talking about feminist in MC5. I'm not sure what you meant, Big Mike. Greatest Korea. Here, Saints. Follow your Discourager on Twitter. I'll check you out. Page of Veals. Hey, Karen. Almost met you at the DC Red Pill premiere. Had it not been for that interview that you almost did that got canned. Hope to meet you for real. And first drink is on me. Paige, longtime viewer. She's a great person.
That's very sweet of you to offer, but you will have to get to the front of the line because every time I go someplace, I have people lining up to buy me drinks, and I actually have to pace them. So,
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be. And I have actually had to give some shooters away to other people because there's just no way that I could Yeah,
Too much.
It's when you have a reputation as like really enjoying drinking, and then everybody thinks I want to buy her a drink, and so like you literally have 50 people in a venue all wanting to buy you a drink. And
tell me more, Karen.
There's just no way.
I've never hit 50. I did hit my limit before during meetups and stuff where I was like, nah. So I know what you mean.
Oh man, I was giving a speech at the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin's annual convention a couple of years ago, and so essentially the keynote speaker was Gary Johnson, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and so I got to meet him very briefly. I didn't want to be a pest because he was being swarmed almost as much as I was being swarmed, and nobody really knew who I was there. Right, but I was just this new person, and I was speaking about stuff that they hadn't really heard of, or it's not a topic that like they're talking about incarceration culture, and they're talking about gun rights, and they're talking about the drug war, and they're talking about police brutality, and all of these things, right? But they're not talking about men's rights at all, or anti-feminism, and so I get cornered in the bar the first night, like right after I arrived. And they're all buying me, just fucking buying me drinks. And like, there's about 8 of them around me. And they're just like listening to me talk and asking me questions. And finally, I realized that everybody else in the bar has left. And it's got to be around 2:00 in the morning. And we're at the hotel where we're all staying and where this conference is, right? Yeah. And the bartender walks up to me. And he hands me a red plastic party cup. For beer. Okay. Full right to the top with white wine. Oh, right? Boy. He shoves it into my hand and he says, "Go to your room." Okay? Because I want to go home. And these guys aren't going to leave until you leave. Right? So just go. Right? So I take this up to my room and I drank about a quarter of it or something. And then I was just like, oh God. Right? Like it's 3 a.m. now. Put it in the back of my fridge, woke up the next morning. I had to be in the conference room at 11. And I'm just like, do I dare drink some of this wine slushy now?
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. So I had a few sips and then I was just like, maybe that's not the best idea because I think I'm still drunk. But I'm just in that weird place, and there's no way I could possibly eat anything. And so I'm like, I get down to the conference room, and I have to sit through an hour and a half of party business before I get up on stage and talk. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like coming down from being drunk, and like my head is starting to pound, and I'm starting to actually get hungry. And I'm like in that the worst of all 3 worlds all at once. And that's when I gotta go up to the podium, and I'm like standing there clutching the sides of the podium, right? My arms are shaking, and I'm giving my speech, and nobody noticed. Nobody noticed that I was drunk and hungover, and
that's how libertarian speech is meant to be given. I mean, I'm being pressed. Honestly, I'm being pressed by the Libertarian Party here in New Hampshire to run as a libertarian, and I say, you realize I'll be a lino, right? And they're like, that doesn't mean shit. Who gives a shit? Fucking Gary Johnson was our candidate last time. Just run. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, all right, fine. But it's, I mean, you've been invited to libertarian parties in New Hampshire, and honestly, I dare anyone to find a more libertarian state.
Oh God, yeah. And I didn't actually go to any of the parties in New Hampshire.
You should have. They're so good.
Oh my God, they were talking like I was being invited to one, and she was like, "We're gonna have Coke, and we're gonna have this, and we're gonna have that."
Yeah, but it's not about you have to do this because that would violate the NAP.
I'm like, do I really?
I tell you what, this is what you do. This is what you do, Karen. It's really simple. When you're not feeling too sure about that sort of thing, you need me with you, and I'll be your stunt nostrils. It'd be great.
Jeff, I'm talking about the libertarians in New Hampshire.
You think that maybe they were talking about Coca-Cola?
Oh,
I'm sure they were. Because
so was I. I take all my Coca-Cola straight through the nose.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time too taking Coca-Cola through the nose. I'd never want to do that. So, this stream is in no way affiliated with the Free State Movement or the Porcupines in any way whatsoever. When we launch our Patreon, I hope they'll remember I said that. But yeah, that being the case, though. But I mean, no, it's you should have gone. I've been to those parties, and you know what? I went as a liberal, like a blue is blue liberal, and
Ew.
no, I mean, I still am a liberal. I am a liberal. I mean, I'm more of a, I guess well, I'm not even gonna say anyone else. I'm just I'd rather read John Locke than Noam Chomsky, kind of liberal, right?
Okay.
And, yeah, but I went there and it was great though, because the one thing I discovered I love about libertarians is they're like, even at the worst of times, they're the last partisans who really want to hang out with people they disagree with. They're like, oh, do you smoke weed? Oh, it's even better. Shit. Okay. So I like the idea of I like the idea of buses and public transport. I just don't think the government should be doing it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, hold on.
So-
Give me a second.
We got sunburn.
Give me 1 second. Everybody cover your ears. Sam!
Keep it going. Keep going.
Sam, your dog!
Sam, your
That's
dog.
fair.
Well, you got headphones in. All right.
Yeah, you don't hover over the children and tell them. I do that to Quinn all the time. In fact, anybody who's seen any of my streams, it's like, Quinn, Big Money. And then she comes out to tell me that her nickname is not Big Money, and I'm like, oh, you don't understand trolling still. Okay, Big Money. I need to do this.
Sam's nickname is not your dog. It's like his dog wants out, and it's his dog because he's the one who talked me into the disaster that is this dog.
Does he take care of it?
He does. He
does. Make him take majority of care of it?
Yes, absolutely.
Guess whose dog that is?
Yeah, he's definitely the one who looks after the dog the most.
So
okay, take her out. Oh my God, go.
Right. So Sunbird 2 Turnt says, I just looked up Jinko jeans and y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. I am ashamed of Nick, that's true. He brought
ashamed
it up.
of wearing them?
I don't know what shame means.
Nerith says, love you, Karen. How's it feel to do an interview with Jonathan Davis? Thanks, Nerith. Appreciate that.
Yeah, guys, don't keep giving super chats making fun of Jeff. Don't do that.
Everybody says I look like Jonathan Davis from the band Korn. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those things. JT Viper. JT Viper says, Karen is one of my heroes. Badgers got me through some bad times. Karen, thank you. You made me realize I wasn't a waste of skin as a guy. Hashtag Badger love.
Oh, yeah. That's so sweet. It's so sweet of you to lie like that.
He's a sweet dude, too. He's a great guy.
Oh, I get it. I say it, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I totally appreciate that. Oh, random audience member who... Give more money. And convince her with more money.
Yeah, but don't donate it here. Donate it to my Patreon.
There you go. There you go. Chip Walton, I just want to thank Karen and through Cassie for opening my eyes and unchaining my mind from the groupthink I was a prisoner to. Absolutely. It's pretty common, too. Sergeant Buck... Porn taught me how to spot fake boobs. Hashtag life skills. What's wrong with fake boobs?
You know,
they do kind of feel like that bag of sand that was
described
in
the
50-year-old
virgin.
I have these to like compare to.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
And then I put my hands on the fake ones, and they just.
Karen, you know that's going to be a GIF, right?
They're not as...
I hope so.
Yeah.
But essentially, like, I have to wonder, right? Because, like, being somebody who bats for both teams.
Okay.
There is such a wide variety of female figures that I find attractive, right? So anything from Keira Knightley to like the petitest, curviest, roundest bottom, tiny little boobs, like all of it. All of it is so hot.
Wait a second. You went from Keira Knightley to smaller than Keira Knightley?
No, like short, right? Short and not tall and thin, but short and curvy with like a really round bum.
That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun.
Why are you mimicking me, son? Why?
Do that.
Thick
Thick ass.
Yeah, no, and so like I mean, there's just or like a sort of a gymnast figure where they almost have no boobs at all, and like they're so muscular, and I'm gonna kill you, dog.
Hey, the dog seems to be into that kind of figure. The dog seems.
Yeah.
The
dog, yeah, she's very excited by that. But no, I mean, I don't understand why a woman would feel like she needs to change her body in that way. I mean, like if she's got something up top, I mean, like there's no need to turn an A cup into a D cup. There's no.
For me, I think about it like, because I was really big into the body mod scene for a while. Like, this is me toned down. Way toned down. You know, like, I do not have all the shit in my face that I used to have in my face. But, tattoos and piercings and that sort of thing, I mean, I just see it as kind of like just another form of body mod. And if somebody wants it, that's cool. But I think that it is kind of shitty that some people might be compelled into wanting to get that purely for like
Shut up, dog.
Purely for like social reasons because they don't feel like they have enough worth without it. That's kind of fucked up.
That's what gets me. I mean, like it's one thing to like like a hairstyle because you like your hairstyle, right? You know, or have a beard because you like having a beard or whatever, right? But or
because your wife likes the beard,
or
you don't have a choice.
Or because you could never grow a beard, and then you're like, I need to hold on to this.
I cry every time my boyfriend has to shave. Every time he goes to work on site, because he has to be able to put on a gas mask if necessary, and he has to shave, and then he leaves this revolting pedophile mustache and this little like
porn goatee,
a little soul patch,
Yeah, the little soul patch that's like Satan is like, yeah, I'm gonna make my my most hated underling have a soul patch because it's that retarded, and I mean, and it. Okay, it's maybe it's because it doesn't suit him, right? Because like I have met guys who looked good with a soul patch. I have met guys who look good with just a mustache and not a full beard. But look, my guy, he's younger than me, and then when he shaves everything off, he looks like 14.
Oh.
And then
that's got to be a little off-putting.
Yeah, like he literally looks younger than my youngest when he shaves everything.
I can see why that. I mean, yeah, I can see why
that'd be disturbing. Yeah.
Here's the funny thing though.
It's confirmed though, guys. Women like beards.
They do.
Women like beards. I've met some women who don't.
Not the ones that like go all the way down, halfway down your chest to your belly button.
They just like facial hair. Right?
I think they do, and I think facial hair does something. It does a natural. It's like rouge for women, right? They do the sculpting with the blush and everything, right? And it's like contouring their face and everything. And I think that a beard naturally adds contouring to a man's face.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to be the devil.
So it'll give you like higher cheekbones, and it'll give you a more square jaw and all of those.
It hides the neck too. Hides the neck pretty good.
It hides double chin and all those things, right?
Yeah, but it's funny though because a lot of times it does just when it comes to beards, right? Because I've seen guys who are stressed out or like disappointed that they can't grow a big bushy beard, right?
Yeah,
and it's funny because it does come down to the individual setting their own standards for what they wish they could look like, rather than like really just being cool with what they actually look like. And I think that really does just come with age. Like when you're an adult, a proper adult,
it just comes with age for sure.
Yeah, when your youth is gone, and you look at yourself. If you find a way that you can make yourself look a way that you're kind of pleased with, you're like, hey. Not bad. all the other people who like might look at you and find that version of you attractive are like, that's fucking hot. And you're like, nah, that's not hot. This is just not bad. But no, it's hot. Oh well, thank you for saying so. I'm gonna be really confused now.
That's because you're a guy and you're not used to being called hot.
It's true. That's
No,
very true.
I am slowly getting used to it. Every time I start a fight with Paul Joseph Watson on Twitter, people are like, women are like, "Don't fight, you're both hot," and I'm like, "You're on acid."
Okay.
Literally on acid.
No, but I have to say, you know, like all things considered, you know, and if I was single, I would totally do a 3-way with you and Paul Joseph Watson. Maybe a 4-way. Add Jeff.
Maybe. Aw.
All right.
Oh.
Probably.
Okay.
I was really thinking you were going for like Saints Trinity there.
Well, I don't know. A 4-way just seems like a lot of work, right?
That's a lot of dick. That's a lot of dick.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility. Having been in a foursome myself, the pressure is real. The pressure is actually real. It is.
No, it's a funny thing too. The first time you go into a threesome,
You just
especially
don't
as a
know where
guy,
you're going.
the first time you go into a
everything's
threesome,
weird and like.
I mean, Jeff's
It gets strange.
Wait. Oh fuck. No, but like.
Don't fucking judge me, son of a bitch.
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, my first experience with a threesome was hilarious because I'm
Hey.
like, I jumped into bed after the two of them are getting on. I'm like, this is fucking hot. Time to jump in. And then I jump in and I realize, like, what do I do? Fuck. Oh, shit. No, I don't want anyone to be distracted and I don't want anyone to feel left out. Oh, God, this is more complicated than porn makes it look. God damn it. I can see why Poe calls it degeneracy.
All I'm saying is, I did a search. I did a search today just to find some funny threads that I could look up, and I discovered that I am actually Paul's favorite degenerate dick sucker. Apparently, so I'm gonna wear that like a fucking mantle. Can't say I've sucked a lot of dicks. Can't say there's been many. But I am apparently Paul's favorite degenerate dick sucker.
I don't understand why I'm not, because I have sucked a lot of dicks.
Yeah, but
Have you pissed off Paul enough yet?
Oh, I probably haven't pissed off Paul. No. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
probably why.
But I am a degenerate. So.
Oh, same. Degenerate life. Hashtag degenerate life, guys. So, we have... Neerth says, yo, Nick, I've got a couple extra pounds. Still want to fuck me?
I'd say send nudes, but that's never worked out well for me. So
That's never worked out well for me either.
I'm gonna fuck AJ for a while.
We'll figure it out from there, you know.
Stick
Yeah,
with that,
keep me on
yeah.
speed dial. Nosferatu says, I've always feminists as a plague of vampires. I've always seen feminists as a plague of vampires, where truth and logic are sunlight and garlic. It spreads like a virus and infects all it touches. It's a hard right, but a righteous one. We shall prevail.
Karen is James Woods from that vampire movie. I can't remember now.
Oh, God. Vampires.
I
John
can't
Carpenter's
remember
vampires.
Oh yeah, John Carpenter's vampires. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't even remember that. I know I've seen it.
By
It
the way,
was good. No,
I have to ask though, did you appreciate me putting you as Antonio Banderas from the 13th Warrior?
I did.
Okay. Because I tried to. What was the first movie that you said was your favorite? It was
Last of the Mohicans.
Right. I looked for a good picture that I could cut us into, and it just none of it was working. So 13th Warrior, I found that one image. I'm like, this is perfect. We need Karen in the fucking
I
armor.
kind of wanted to be Bulwai though. You
I
know?
know. There was
He was the one that I would have totally fucked in that movie. Oh my god.
same.
you know, we're gonna need
I
to
mean, if
rename.
he was a girl.
We will need to rename this episode Karen's Sexual Confessions.
Yeah. Who Karen would fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Oh yeah.
who Karen.
Well, no, I mean Karen's Sexual Confessions sounds more like a Showtime thing.
Well,
than
I didn't share my experience of threesomes. I just said that I would consider one.
Not
It
yet.
was a hypothetical.
It was a hypothetical.
So Saybrov says, Jeff ever hung out in Roseburg? No hate, please. No hate for Roseburg. I've been there a few times. Beautiful part of Oregon. It's pretty badass. Maybe I'll make my way south again, and we'll get a beer. Undoomed. Love you, Undoomed. Oh, all the love to Undoomed. Tipped us out big says, the willingness of any group to rectify a specific problem is inversely proportional to the amount of power held by that group. i.e., it's not in the best interest of feminism to solve the problems opposed by feminism, and that's absolutely fucking true.
Yes.
That's absolutely true. Because
there is so much money in just perpetuating the complaint. You know, and not just money, but reputations and all. Like, can you imagine if, like, we actually woke up one day and we all collectively realized, everybody in society collectively realized, patriarchy, if it did exist, doesn't exist anymore, right? How many feminists would be out of a job? How many women's studies professors would now be relegated to some obscure, you know, one class on the history of patriarchy that would be, like, just, you know, like, so sort of like World War II history class or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Not a whole program, but just like one course, and no money in it, right? Because there's no problems to solve anymore. So
absolutely.
Oh.
I made that point a few times too. I was before I had to stop going to college. I do plan to go back, but
don't do it.
Well,
you're in the Pacific Northwest. Don't do it.
I know. I understand because of the experience that I had.
Go to State University of Chicago.
So I was going to OSU for a while, which is one in Corvallis. Had a great program for human biology, which is what my passion is. I'm all about futurism and biomedical science and that sort of thing. That's like what my fucking boner is for the world. But when I was trying to look into the recommendations or the requirements to get a degree in biology, it said I had to have 3 classes from the humanities department, and it was a list of like 80 different social justice classes. And they were all fucking... I picked what I thought would be the least shitty, and it was fucking awful. Fucking awful. Yeah. I almost got flunked out just because I dared to point out the relevancy of how racist Asian cinematography is compared to American cinematography perceiving Asians. And all the Asian exchange students were like, actually, yeah, no, Asian cinema is really racist, actually. And the professor got mad.
And you know what? I love it. I love when I see that, though. I really do. It's because it's just fun when it's like Western imperialist come to our land, and it's just this fat white guy with blonde hair, and he's like, "I've come here to buy everything." I'm like, "Oh, more of him, please."
Well, you know what it is though? It's so fascinating because the thing that I pointed out to this professor was, if you have a Chinese-produced movie and they need the Japanese to be the bad guys, all the Japanese are being played by Koreans. Now, if you have a Japanese-produced movie with the Chinese as the villains, the Chinese are always being portrayed by the Koreans. Yeah. So the Koreans are always the bad guys playing the race that is antithetical to the race that's producing the movie. Jeff, it's so weird.
Yeah, but it's like you brought it back around to that second news item. One thing we've learned in this stream, if nothing else, is that Koreans are the bad guys.
Oh God.
Absolutely 100%.
Yeah,
but they poop. Even the deer leader.
Even the deer
absolutely.
Well, I've always said I am only racist in one way. Like, I used to be racist against Swedish people, but an amazing YouTuber by the name of Oscar Jungel cured me of that, and I love you, Oscar, for that.
He has cured you of your racism?
My racism. He's a great dude.
How can you be racist against Swedes?
Because I'm Finnish, and all Finnish people fucking hate the Swedes.
Okay. Canadians that makes total sense.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense from the perspective of a Dane. That makes sense.
It's like it's like the Icelandic hate the Danish.
We were driving along the Danish countryside, and we stumbled across a plaque on the side of the highway by the ocean, and my dad got out and read it, and we were like, "What does it say?" And he says, "Oh, this is where we killed a bunch of the bloody Swedes," right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's I can see it from the point of view of another Scandinavian.
The only other racism I have is against Koreans. It's against South Koreans, and it's only racist because when I meet a South Korean, I automatically assume 2 things. One, they're not going to like me because I've only ever met one South Korean that was ever friendly to me. They were always really mean to me otherwise. And 2, they're probably better at me in video games, and that kind of makes me upset. So I will admit and I keep admitting this, I am actually racist against South Koreans. I don't think they're subhuman or they're bad people. They're
you don't like them because they're better than you.
Yeah, I don't like them because they're better than me, and that's not fair. I'm not that good at StarCraft, and that's fucked up.
But that's not white supremacists, so...
No, it's Korean supremacy, and it's not fair. My genes. Anyway, but what I was trying to say, though, about the school, though, when I was looking at this huge list of these social justice classes, I started thinking about it, and I realized that none of the professors who teach those classes of social injustice ever want those things to change. They don't want things to get better.
No.
Because then they're out of a fucking job.
Yeah, no, and so they'll go out of their way like they did at Evergreen, right?
Oh my God.
To, and this is one of the things, because, I mean, that's the criminally undersubbed channel that I suggested, is Benjamin Boyce, right?
Okay.
I don't know if
I knew what video to pick.
I don't know if this is the time to bring this up, but he's a guy who went to Evergreen. He enrolled as a 36-year-old man, right? So he was 36 years old when he enrolled there, did a 4-year degree. And prior to that, he'd been teaching preschool. So essentially, he's got some insights into human nature from observing preschoolers and, helping them become socialized and learn empathy and how to get along and all of those things, right? And he's watching this entire thing. And if you go on his channel and watch his videos in sequence on Evergreen, don't watch his poetry videos. They're so not spectacular. But watch his commentary on Evergreen, because he gets into all of the things that led up to that, and it's not something that just happened. It's been building up for a year and a half there or more, right? Like where you have this sort of powder keg that's already there, and then it builds up and builds up and builds up for a year and a half, and it's all the president, it's all these certain members of the faculty who are pushing for this, and his commentary on it is really, I think, puts everything into context very well.
Sure.
And
yeah.
You know what? Let's we've had a great discussion. Let's use this as an opportunity to roll on into the next segment.
Well,
There's format.
Let's burn through the super chats. I'm having a great fucking time, man. I feel fucking amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's burn through some super chats like rapid speed, and then we'll get to our undersubbed and then our oversubbed. Like, let's do it.
And for all of you who gave us a bunch of money, hoping you would get excellent bants out of this, our apologies.
What the fuck? This is amazing. This is great. This is fucking awesome. This is the best of. It's huge, Nick. It's huge.
It's huge. I love huge.
So we got Rhino. Rhino says, 11 pounds. Do you have stretch marks on your toes? Not really sure what that's in reference to. Prince of Queens. We love Prince of Queens. Prince of Queens was previously a guest on YouTube. Saints says, talk more about gay men, Karen.
What do you want me to say?
Very good question. Save it for a video. Watch and subscribe to Prince of Queens.
JT Yearsley, done some hogging in my day. Hey, they're called love handles for a reason. They have a use. I've had my experiences.
I would lose my erection in a heartbeat.
No. Look, should I tell it? I mean, we're supposed to be moving on, but I have a story.
Okay.
Sounds like you got a story.
Okay. So I like to attend this event called Sea Dog Nights at times. It's a pirate festival event. Everybody dresses up like pirates, runs around, acts like a fucking lunatic, gets way too fucking drunk, does things that they're going to feel really bad about the next week. So
not just the next day.
Oh my! It's gonna last a while, actually. Usually. Me and Mems are there, and we're having a grand old time. We have like one really unfortunate experience, and I've talked about it before, involving a habanero infused Everclear.
Oh no!
And it ended up,
that was
killed the mood for the night.
Really bad idea.
Oh
I've
God!
told
You know that stuff is worse going out than it is going in.
Oh yeah, but
Oh,
it's even
it's
worse going on.
Yeah, it's worse going on when you wipe your mouth and you don't realize it, and then you try to Jill your wife off, and it's covered in habanero. Everclear? Yeah. So we had taken a hit that weekend. But we're the next day. We're sitting there, and we're also pissed off because we got cock-blocked by these two friends of ours because there was this beautiful violin player, and me and Mims are like, what's going on with that over there? And so we this whole thing happened, but we're sitting there, and we're like, this weekend is a bust. This is fucked up. What the fuck is going on? And there's this girl sitting across from us. She's a very lovely person, and she hears of our troubles, and she's like, well, you guys are very cute. I wouldn't mind an experience with you. And we go, oh, really? And so later that night, she comes back. Long story short, comes back into the tent. Now, I was drunk the whole time. Like, when I go to festivals, I am drunk the entire time. Like, there's not a point where I am sober. But there was a point where I sobered up very quickly. When this girl came into the tent, she seemed very nice, very well proportioned. But I grabbed that fucking corset and I went, cha-cha! And out spilled a whole lot of woman.
Oh, dear.
And I mean a whole lot of woman. And it's at that point in your life, when you come face to face with these types of things, you have to ask yourself some basic questions about who you are and what you're capable of. And I had to look at the situation. You know, I have Mems going, and this girl looking expectant at me like, and I just had to go, fuck it! And that's what you have to do sometimes. That's what you have to do. And that's an analogy for my whole life. Right there.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, okay, what I think of as love handles, okay, is not like an extra 40 pounds of flesh around your middle. It's just that little bit, you know, kind of
American version.
on top
you want
of your
the Canadian
hips.
version.
Yeah. That.
You don't want American ham. You want Canadian bacon.
It's a little extra. It's not excessive, right? Like that's how I think of love handles. You know, and you know, my body's not perfect, okay?
My body is
far from perfect.
Mine is. It's fine.
My guy's body
is
not perfect.
Why is anyone asking questions? Why am I asking me being asked?
Your body is not perfect.
Perfect. It's absolutely nothing's wrong with it. Why do you want to know now? What are you, the government?
I am lucky to have it, but it ain't perfect.
You're not the government. I don't need to answer any of your questions. Let's move on, Jeff. Super chats.
I'm sorry. He heard me say that and he was like, "My body is so perfect." So,
oh my god.
You and your hockey player ass.
I'm not a hockey player. Oh wait, I'm also not your son. Never mind. I forgot.
I don't think she's talking to her son. She's talking to her man.
I'm talking to my guy here. He's
Oh, it's okay. None of us are. You're not hanging out with any hockey players right now.
Yeah, well, he was a hockey player, and he's got a hockey player ass, which basically just means like giant and round.
So Midran Emrys says, "Thank you for everything you do, Karen," and we thank Karen for everything she does. Absolutely.
You are very welcome.
Sabrov says, "Karen and Wiz, remember my limerick for Brian." I don't remember this.
Oh wait, which one though? Which one?
Yeah.
There was like a limerick game going on there.
Yeah, no, we were trying to get the cadence, the meter.
Yeah.
Right, because it was just a little bit off, but yeah, I remember that. I remember it. I just don't remember it word for word.
So Prince of Queen says, "I'm starting a gay honey badger radio with Space Pan." What's Space Pan?
Is that a YouTuber or is that a dish?
That sounds like a laser tag arena.
That'd be good too. Bogsy Francis says, "Go make me a ham sandwich, Karen."
As soon as I get Shanks in the mail, I'll look after you.
There you go. Undoom says, "By the way, I hereby proclaim my previous super chat as Undoom's Law," which was, The willingness of any group to rectify a specific problem is inversely proportional to the amount of power held by that group. That does sound like a good law. Undoom's Law. I like that. Big Mike says MC5, Motor City 5, most progressive band ever. So you okay. So let me figure this out. You don't want the feminists in Congress, you want the feminists in Motor City 5. Okay, that makes sense. Apocalypto A, what are your guys' thoughts on mixed drinks? Why water down the perfection?
Did they taste good and cost me no money?
Mixed drinks, one of the things about, like, say, vodka and things like that is that here in Canada, if you want to get drunk, your best bet is to go for a small brewery that makes cheap beer. Boxer used to be really good. They made a good, decent quality beer. They were a small brewery. So you could get a 6-pack for $7, which is fucking amazing in Canada. Because they're usually like 15 fucking bucks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they became a large brewery because they got so popular, and then all of a sudden the taxes doubled, right? And now they're like 12 bucks or something. But it's still pretty good. It's still cheaper than the rest. So you either have to go for a beer or you have to go for wine, right? Okay. And you buy wine when it's on sale. Because vodka, if I were a vodka drunk or like a whiskey drunk or, any kind of spirits drunk, I'd be broke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what do you think? Actually, I really want to ask you, Karen, because I had someone in my, I was Battleground streaming. And there's a Canadian fucker who's like, yeah, I know, we're going to legalize weed. It's going to happen, but it's going to suck. And it's like, why? No, they're going to nationalize the industry, and it's just going to turn to shit.
What?
Really?
Well, I mean, no, yes and no, right? Like, because I think what they're trying to do is trying to bring in controls for producers that would be considered commercial. So everybody can have their backyard vegetable garden, right? But if you're going to grow vegetables on a farm and sell them via a grocery store, you're going to have to comply with a whole bunch of regulations, right?
Right.
So Canadian legalization is about, don't buy commercial, just grow your own.
Well, essentially everybody would be able to have, I think, 6 plants or something like that for personal use. Yeah. And so you would be able to have those growing in your house and not have to worry about it, and you would just keep you could have them in your living room now. You don't have to stick them in the downstairs fucking bathroom or like the furnace room or some shit like that.
Much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that you would know anything about not that you'd know anything about that.
I know all about that.
Nothing.
But,
no, you would know nothing about that.
I know
way too much about that shit. Tell you what. I don't even smoke weed, dude, and I know all about that shit.
I don't smoke
growing
weed
weeds.
either.
Growing weeds.
Yeah, I don't smoke
hard. weed
either, but I know all about it.
I do.
Shit.
But yeah, so I mean, like, it will become commercialized and regulated on the large scale. So large scale producers are going to have to comply with federal regulations and all kinds of stuff like that, right? And if you're going to buy it at a dispensary or whatever, there's going to be all kinds of regulations attached to that.
Probably.
But if you want to just grow it for yourself, if you want to just grow it for yourself, you'll be able to do that, right?
Yeah. I'd imagine so. All right, so Prince of Queens, can I please have a wrench? You already have a wrench. Best show on YouTube. Thank you so much, Prince. We love you. Nearith, Nick is hot. I agree. Nick's all right. He's pretty good. Fraser Danger. Hey Jeff, any recommendations for strong beers here on the West Coast? I'm in the SF Bay. Cheers, dudes, and Karen. Yes. Good strong beers. If you can actually get somewhere down in the SF area, some Hopworks. Hopworks is an amazing beer. Absolutely incredible. Other than that, Ninkasi has really good beer. It's pretty good. Nearith,
North Coast Brewing or Fine Stone Brewing.
Man, no, that East Coast beer shit is just nothing but piss. Come on,
that's
piss.
That's Southern. Piss. That's California Brewing.
Oh well, it ain't Oregon, so fuck it. So Nearith tipped us out big. You into giving Karen a shitlord hat? Well, for that tip, yes, Karen. You're gonna have to send me a PO box or something. I'm gonna mail you a shitlord hat.
I'll send you my address. You can show up at my door anytime. You can sleep on my couch.
Sweet.
And look at what my dog has done to this living room, which is she eats things that aren't food.
Yeah.
Like used Kleenexes and leather gloves.
Oh yeah. No, for the amount that Nero tipped us out, I will definitely be in his name sending you a shitlord hat.
She ate a government check. Thank God it was only for $5.36.
Ain't that just like a bitch? Motherfucker.
It wasn't the $8,000 tax return. It was
That's
the
good.
$5.36 adjustment. So
Battle Axe Matt says, come see universities in Chicago. I will buy you and Mems a round of drinks. Sounds good. Gonzo Duke, is it a threesome if I watch two girls eat each other out and jerked off between them? A friend wants to know. I think that counts.
definitely counts.
Yeah, that counts.
Definitely counts. If your spunk gets on them, it counts.
Yeah. And if it seems like it might not, just put it on their shoulder a little bit, and then it counts, and then it's good. You can count that on your card.
Did 3 people come in the same room at the same time? Roughly?
I'll fucking get in trouble.
That was a threesome. Monetization. Hey.
Jables Bugley says, don't mind me just sliding some shekels your way. Rhino says, everybody poops is banned in North Korea. That's fucked up. Sergeant Buck, I almost went to Evergreen.
It's heresy.
I almost went to Evergreen after dropping out of tech school. The college makes me ashamed to be from Washington. I understand. I really do. The next 6 minutes, Chatelet, my Finnish brother, Suomi. Prince of Queens. Spacepan is a new YouTuber, a gay MRA. I will check him out after the stream, man. Sounds good. Gonzo Duke. Yeb can still win, guys. Yeb, please clap is not going to win. I'm sorry. Nosferatu. Sorry about the grammatical and spelling errors. I like to think I write in a cerebral way. Most of the time it ends up a little palsy. Oh my god. I love you, Karen. All the work you do. The gadgets give me hope. I think he's trying to say the badgers give him hope. It's very cerebral.
That would be spelled correct.
All the badger gadgets, they're very effective.
Badger gadgets give me hope too.
I don't really have any gadgets, so.
I have a fidget spinner, but I don't like to talk about it. 2 more. Joshua Smith. Hey guys, greeting from Australia. Finally able to catch a stream. Luck a dick a day. Keep on being boss niggas. Thank you, buddy. Pleasure.
I think he meant to say lick a dick a day.
Lick a dick a day? Wow.
Lick a dick a day.
1 a day? That's a lot of dick.
Every fucking day in my house is steak and a blowjob day.
Karen, where have you been all my life? Why you gotta be like hooked up with this hockey dude, man? I'm fresh prime real estate right here.
Yeah, well, he's got a nice engineering job and.
All right, good point. Good point.
Away.
All right, good point. That's fine. Good point. All right, Dan D, y'all are $2 whores, aren't you? Absolutely, that's the truth. Okay, so. We're caught up. That took a long time to catch up, but it was a lot of fun. It was a fantastic journey. Let's move on, everybody. Format must be appeased. Praise the format. Let's move on to our next segment.
God.
I don't believe in the format, guys.
Well, it's kind of worked out well for us.
I'm agnostic as far as the format goes.
You're agnostic about the format. You're not really sure if the format actually exists or not.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
But you're willing to accept that maybe it does.
I'm willing to accept if somebody shows me evidence that...
Listen, if the format existed, Catz would have just pushed everything off the side of it. Wait. No, that's the Earth being flat. Let's move on with the format.
Fuck.
Because it exists.
All right, okay. So you have the My Circle loaded up, yeah?
Oh, yes, I have it here.
So we're going to take a look at a YouTuber named Benjamin Boyce. And does he go to Evergreen?
He went to Evergreen for 4 years. I think he was working there as a student advisor or a provost or something or other. So he was employed there while he was attending. And he, if I recall correctly, I'm not 100% sure. But he was an adult student, 36 years old when he started there. got his 4-year degree, got out, and started his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel has some like kind of goofy poetry on it, and the rest of it is a lot of stuff about Evergreen and essentially what went wrong, sort of a deconstruction of the whole debacle. So
yeah,
let's very
take a look.
good.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see what Benjamin Boyce has to say.
Some people may say that this is in the 60s and that's down south or back east, and that we're immune to this type of mindset and rhetoric in the Pacific Northwest. And I would encourage you to ask yourself a very critical question: how true is that? And that the people, and particularly the image of this little girl, are people that are still alive today. So for folks that are younger, don't think this is some distant memory of far, far long ago, okay? And so the conditions of our society were to the point where people were literally getting snatched off the street by dogs because they're in a place where they shouldn't be, even if all they're trying to do is to go to the store for their mother. In 2017, certain populations and communities live in the same type of fear. Despite the strides that conversations like this produced, these are images that many of us have seen in the past, particularly civil rights leaders such as MLK. But what's missing?
So is this is a recording that he took from Evergreen right here?
This is a recording of a lecture by one of the sort of architects of what happened. It's this guy's a faculty member. There are a handful of faculty members and the president and some of the administration that were pushing all of this kind of rhetoric that racism is just as alive and well at Evergreen as it was in the Deep South in the 1960s.
Evergreen, one of the safest fucking like crazy cities in the Pacific Northwest of America.
Yeah, not just that, but I think that their black enrollment is like they have if they don't have proportional representation, right, in terms of ethnic groups, they'll have overrepresentation of minorities.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
From this picture are the more militant and radical mindset of Malcolm X. Those perspectives were just as important in these conversations as the people that we believe made the biggest difference.
Okay,
So when I
pause
think
it for a
back
second.
on our history, and I just think
Yeah, I think you might have taken a long minute, Mockery.
I actually agree with this guy on that, right? What's missing from a lot of the discussions is the more radical perspective of Malcolm X. And the reason I say that is because, it's not Paul Elam, right, who's going to be meeting with the governor of some state or testifying before Congress about anything.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's the Malcolm X's of the world that essentially make the rest of society say, well, it's either him or Martin Luther King. Let's go with Martin Luther King. Right?
Right.
So, I mean, like, I agree with, these people aren't stupid, right? And they do sometimes say some things that are actually relevant. But I don't think in the context that he's putting it right now, in terms of Evergreen College, that it makes any sense whatsoever. So
Right. A lot of this is excessive hyperbole.
yeah.
It is a long video he put up.
think back on the images that I've shared with folks, it doesn't necessarily make me feel all good. Because there's no way that the sentiment that people felt 55 years ago, where they didn't even want somebody in the classroom sitting next to them, or they didn't want their son or daughter to be friends with somebody because they're either black or brown, like those sentiments have not gone away. And when I think of most of our faculty and administrators, not just here, right, but around the country, have been exposed to this type of mindset and thinking majority of their lives. Unless they have intentionally challenged it and worked hard to continue to fight for what's right in terms of not treating people wrong because they're black. Okay, it's as simple as that. And there's been many efforts.
And the thing that drives me crazy about this too, and I've been trying to deal with this for a while, is there's a narrative that's like kind of a straw man. It's the overwhelming racist white man straw man that people like to push forward. And like don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of racist people out there. I know. My former roommate pissed off some of them and they came to my house with fucking guns. Like, I know that the good old boys, the fucking Confederate flags and the armed fucking pistols, they fucking exist. I'm aware of that. But we exist in a time right now where you have these hardcore left-wing, like, bandana-wearing hooligans. You have these, like, homebrew fucking right-wing my fucking genetic superiority kind of shit. But the majority of things, and this is what I think a lot of people don't pay attention to, is that caught in the middle of these two extremes in this weird time that we live in are people who are liberal and conservative, Republican and Democrat. And when they perceive the extremes of both sides, they actually get along in the middle a lot more. So Evergreen is a great example of when you're so sure of the persecution complex and you have such an insular community that you're not even open to the idea that ordinary people probably agree with you a lot more than you would have ever thought.
Yeah, no, it's like you shouldn't, at a place like Evergreen, it shouldn't require militant action to get the majority of people to acknowledge that black people are human beings. Like, I'm sorry, you know, like it's...
There was, as great as this conversation is, genuine... Actually, you know what? Cheers on this guy's channel. I meant to send you a different link, Jeff. It was going to be his setting up to what the first 30 seconds of that speech were.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-oh.
But in the,
do you still have the link? Send it to me. Send it to me.
No, I mean, it's in the same video. He's responding to this. He's doing a long-form response.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's fast forward to his response then.
Yeah, where is
that's
this
the part
response?
that's good.
Or is this just the raw...
No. It's about the second half.
Is it about in here? Let's see. What about here, maybe?
Pearson's
No,
leadership class.
that's where somebody's talking about how he came from Cambodia, and his grandfather was telling him about the Khmer Rouge coming to the house, and essentially,
This is
and
him. Yeah,
and then
yeah,
he's like, and then I was in high school, and I guess an Asian kid did something illegal, and the police came and pulled the 4 Asian kids out of my class and had us put our hands up on the wall, right?
Right.
And it's like. And I had these flashbacks to the Khmer Rouge, and I thought, racism is just as alive here as it was there. And I'm thinking the Khmer Rouge were Cambodian, and your grandpa was Cambodian, so.
Ooh, whoop.
What?
So is this him right here?
This is him, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just there. He's not that clever of a person. No offense. But he's taking a present struggle, a present situation, and superimposing that present struggle over a struggle of the past. And the juicier and the more traumatic the past struggle, the better. So he's gone through and selectively chosen, or told these people, to tell their traumatic ancestral stories, right? He started with his own by talking about the Caribbean island where his ancestors came from. And that there was a big revolt. And what happens 8 weeks later, at Evergreen, this little island of a college in the woods, there's this big revolt. And then he has a student, or a graduated student, to talk about being lined up by the police based on his race, so he's in a racial lineup, right, and patted down, and how that reminded him of the massacre in Cambodia, right, where 10 million people were slaughtered, the genocide. So genocide is put on the same grounding as a racial profile incident with police. And then furthermore, there's the advisor, somebody who's in a position of authority, responds to that, says she's shaking, and says that she's remembering how her own ancestral trauma of the United States absolutely abandoning her island. And I think she's talking about Guam, because she talks about December of 1941. So what happened in Guam in December of 1941? Well, there's this thing that happened in Hawaii in December of 1941, where the Japanese came around and kind of pooped a little bit of bombs all over everything. And they did that in Hawaii, and they did that in Guam. So I think that the Americans, they tried to do their best to fisticuffs with the Japanese, but they lost that round. They had to go. And then what happened to that island under Japanese rule? Not a lot of good things happened. But what does that have to do with trying to graduate college? What does any of this have to do with trying to graduate college? So Felix kind of brings it right back around, and he says, audaciously, completely openly, that the racism that occurred 60, 50 years ago is alive and well in this very institution. He basically says that.
Wow. That's fucking intense right there. That is absolutely incredible. There's a line of correlation. There's a line of correlation between the brutalization of the Guam people in such a crazy instance like World War II is somehow correlative to this private fucking college in Northwest fucking Washington. What the fuck?
Well, and Guam, like you said, it wasn't that the Americans did that. It was the Americans didn't stop it.
Oh,
right?
sure.
The Americans were unable to stop it because they were busy dealing with Hawaii and Pearl Harbor and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so they didn't have the resources to go in and put a stop to what was happening in Guam. Right?
Right.
So that failure, or I guess, the deprioritization of that issue and their failure to do something about it is equivalent to genocide, right? Because the United States
so fucked up.
The United States is like it's the global freaking morality police, I guess.
Just general police, though. No, big guns.
Well, what gets me, right, is
do what we say.
People get really fucking annoyed when the U.S. sticks their nose in somewhere, right, where they weren't asked.
Yeah, but they get really pissed off when we don't.
When we don't, right? Like, when they don't. And it's like, okay, so what the fuck do you want? You can't win for losing.
But I can kind of understand that to an extent. Like, I understand that there are, when you understand the crooked ways in which any state works, you can understand the roots of that sort of ire. But as that shit goes, though, I don't know, it really is like the crazies have just taken over the asylum now. Like, the patients are fully in charge.
They've got the master key, they're they got the launch codes. It's all in their hands.
Oh, yeah. No, the nuclear memes. Well, that's the weird thing. They get so paranoid, though. The crazies themselves, the hardcore, dedicated campaigners towards an ideology, they get so intent on making sure everything works. It was kind of similar with Lacey Green. A bunch of people were saying, how can we trust her now? Oh, we can't trust her. And I'm like, trust her with what? The codes to the nuclear memes? The 70 kiloton memes that we have on the ICBMs? No. She must be killed. Everyone she knows must die.
Sent to the gulag.
Honestly, I think, because I've approached her with caution. As far as I know, I'm still blocked on her channel.
Oh, she's very cool.
As far as I know, I'm still blocked on her channel. When she put out that first red pill video, I reached out to her via email and said, I think what you're doing is a good thing. I don't expect you to agree with everything that the other side says, but you know, it's good that you want to talk and you have an open mind. It's great. You know, if you ever feel like you're probably going to get a lot of blowback from your side, if you ever want to chat, just hit me up. She hasn't emailed me, and last I tried to comment on her channel, I was blocked.
Well, I'll put a worm in her ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, and it's like, you know, part of me is thinking, you know, and I don't want to toot my own horn here.
There
right?
are do not mention the nuclear memes.
No,
they don't
but
exist.
Okay, but I don't want to, because I think that there may be certain people that she doesn't want to talk to because they would actually possibly get her to challenge her beliefs in ways that she's not wanting to, right? Because a lot of the people in the sort of anti-SJW, because her entire sort of premise, right, the whole reason why she sort of picked up the red pill and thought about taking it, right, is it wasn't about belief, it was about behavior.
It was. Yeah, no, it was that because people who were supposed to be like on her side were ascribing to like some absolutely radical fucking ideas and being abusive to her because of it.
Well, and not just to her. I mean, there was that one woman who published the paper who was like essentially saying, well, you know, if these feminist arguments in favor of trans people hold water, then Rachel Dolezal is a black woman. Right. And so just going by the logic, right? And she got the shit ripped out of her, right? And so she's like, I think her biggest kind of wake-up call has been the behavior, but the behavior is not exclusive to feminists. It's not exclusive to anybody. It's simple chimpanzee fucking tribalistic behavior. That's all it is, right? And it's everybody's susceptible to that, right? And addressing the behavior doesn't necessarily mean she has to actually question any of her core beliefs, right? And I don't think she wants to talk to people who would actually require her to.
But I think she should, though. And so here's something that I've directly spoken to Lacey Green about. Is so like there's that line at the end of the red pill where Cassie J says, "Only one thing really has changed. I don't call myself a feminist anymore." Mm-hmm. And so I've seen the evolution of things that are happening to Lacey. And I always tell her the same thing. Every time that we have a really in-depth conversation about things, I tell her the same thing over and over and over again. I look her dead in the eye and I say the same thing. Don't you ever let them take, and I mean them by radical feminists, don't you ever let radical feminists take feminism away from you. Because Lacey Green is the biggest feminist YouTuber on the fucking planet. She just is. Objectively, she is the biggest feminist YouTuber on the planet. Yeah. The goal should not be to make Lacey Green forego like her feminist beliefs. The idea should be to show her that there are other things that have been brutalized by people misusing feminism, and that if you can bring feminism as a trope or as a belief system into something that's more inclusive, that does more harm than it does good, because right now, and I would agree with most everybody else, it does more harm than it does good. I really feel that way. If Lacey Green can lead the charge, then she can redefine feminism to being what they say it should be. They say it's about equality, Yeah, they say it's about equality, and that feminism should help men too. But right now it doesn't. It doesn't. But
it never has. And it never has been about equality.
Well, but here's the thing. Here I'm going to interject here because honestly, we're on a really good point here, but we have a format, Jeff.
Oh God! All right, fine.
And but this is a good thing though, because this is the thing is, do we wish to define feminism as a solid singular enemy monolith, or do we wish to understand that there are parts of it that are really bad.
It is a many-headed Hydra, and none of the heads of the Hydra are particularly things that you want to invite for breakfast.
Exactly.
Right. It's a great idea. There's nothing wrong with the idea of feminism. There's nothing wrong with the idea of it as it's supposed to be sold. There's a huge problem with how it's enacted.
Let's move on and find out how it affects boys when it is affected unto them.
Sure.
In our oversub,
I agree.
Or no,
yeah.
Yeah, our oversubbed of the week. This is a 73.
Okay. Before we get into the oversub, we'll do super chats real fast. No, you're right. I got very heated. I was into this.
No, that was a brilliant fucking discussion. Probably the most intense intellectual discussion I think YouTube Saints has had that I remember.
Probably.
And I hope I remember that one.
I hope I do too. We'll see. Yeah. Where were we at? Joshua Smith says, "Hey guys, greeting from Australia. Finally able to catch a stream. Lucka dick a day. Keep on being boss niggas. I'll be your boss nigga as much as you need me to be, man. Appreciate that." Dan D says, "Y'all are $2 whores, aren't you?" Did I read these already?
If you read them, you're
okay.
$2 whore.
I guess so. A very dead horse. Undoom's law seems to apply to politics. Jeff, I still need your shirt size. I'm a medium. And to know both your beverages of choice: beer, IPAs. What's yours?
Alcoholic liquid.
Yep, he's easy. He's a whore. Follow me back on Twitter. I have an awesome video idea to do ya at a very dead horse. I'll check you out.
Single malt.
Gonzo Duke. Guam did 9/11. I knew that. Liberative.
Shut up.
Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds by Charles Mackay should be required reading. Agreed. Naverful, once again I have made it. This will be probably my YouTube for the day as people keep interrupting my YouTube chemo. Cheers, you glorious things. I am a thing. Gonzo Duke says, Guam is Lacey Green. Lacey Green is Guam. Lacey Green did 9/11. Mind blown. Karen has a great smile and I need to see Jeff in that little black dress. Probably not going to happen because it won't fit. And Michael Gable,
come on, Karen gave us the smile. You know what you need to do, Jeff.
Man, you know what's gonna happen with that little black dress? I'm gonna squeeze my fucking dumpy ass, fucking 35-year-old ass in that dress. I'm gonna send a private picture to Karen. None of you degenerates get to see any of this sexiness.
Next week.
Oh, you send that
Sunday
shit
night.
to me, Jeff, and it's going everywhere.
Well, then you don't get it.
Next week, y'all, on Saints, YouTube Saints, Jeff will present From Beneath the Glass Ceiling in a Little Black Dress. It'll be a wonderful time.
If you do this to me, I swear to God.
I didn't do it to you. You just did it to yourself. I just articulated it in a way that everyone could understand it and hold it against you.
You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me.
Wait, I'm gonna
anyway,
pedal back.
so Michael Gable tipped us out 25. Thank you, buddy. We love you. You're amazing. I still need to sing your praises because of motherfucker sent me an Oculus Rift.
Yeah, no, Michael Gable needs a statue built.
Well, I get to hang out with him in less than 3 weeks. I'm really excited about that. I get to go to Atlanta. I'm gonna go hang out with him. But anyway, so back to my circle.
Gonna have to bring Vernaculus in as the replacement saint when you passed out on Poisoning the Well's couch, aren't I, you fucking whore?
That's true. Our oversub for the week is a YouTube channel by the name of Pop Culture Detective. So,
if you guys haven't found this yet, oh, good God. I mean, if you're not old school Gamergate, you will not fully appreciate the depths to which this is just, it's cringe, it's awful, it's terrible, it's oversubbed.
Get ready for cancer.
Do you remember Never Go Full Macintosh? This is full Macintosh.
Yeah, he doesn't even use what's her name as a middle man.
The dynamic
Here we go.
Of predator and prey. Most critics agree that Empire Strikes Back is the best of the original Star Wars trilogy. The film takes a darker tone and focuses more on its character development, fleshing out the relationship between Han Solo and Princess Leia. Now keep in mind that Han and Leia have had no romantic relationship up until this point.
Alright, once again, apparently, I gave you the wrong link.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah, I guess. Or you like went to the wrong.
No. It's predatory romance in Harrison Ford movies.
Yeah.
That's his entire point. This is full Macintosh in full Macintosh.
Okay, so this is Jonathan McIntosh, the former toady from Anita Sarkeesian's Feminist Frequency.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's got production value. He's got money flowing through his channel, or he knows how to use Adobe Premiere better than I do, and that's impossible. But yeah, no, John, this is the I watched this thing rise from when he started. He had 300, and it's taken him less than 6 months to get to 70,000, over 10% approval ratings. And every single video is the Feminist Frequency video you never got if you ever gave into that Kickstarter.
Fucking Macintosh. Full Macintosh, everybody.
I just don't want to play 30 seconds or more of his content because it's probably. Do you want to get
copyrighted yet?
Here,
No,
let's go just a little bit longer.
Wait, wait. Do we want to get DMCA'd by Jonathan McIntosh? Because that would be pretty hilarious.
I would love to sue him. That'd be fantastic. That'd be nice. I would enjoy that quite a bit.
Please.
Come on, Jeff.
Don't get excited.
Captain, being held by you isn't quite enough to get me excited.
Sorry, sweetheart. I haven't got time for anything else.
I'd like to focus on one scene in particular, a scene that's often cited as one of the most romantic in cinematic history. Let's count the number of times that Princess Leia, directly or indirectly, indicates that she's not interested in Han's advances.
Hey, your worship, I'm only trying to help.
Would you please stop calling me that?
Sure, Leia.
You make it so difficult sometimes.
I do, I really do. You could be a little nicer, though. Come on, admit it, sometimes you think I'm all right.
Occasionally, maybe. When you aren't acting like a scoundrel.
Scoundrel?
Backs away.
Scoundrel? I like the sound of that.
Stop that.
Stop what?
Stop that. My hands are dirty.
My hands are dirty, too. What are you afraid of?
Afraid?
You're trembling.
I'm not trembling.
You like me because I'm a scoundrel. There aren't enough scoundrels in your life.
Exactly.
Nice man.
Nice man.
Wait.
And that's where when she kisses him back, that's when she confirms she doesn't like him. She puts her hand around his neck.
That's rape.
Oh God!
I thought Star Wars was a good movie, but I didn't know it was another tool of the patriarchy to make me say.
I keep going back to this blog post that I read when I was still writing dirty books. And it was this random fucking obscure blog post on some random obscure blog called How Feminism Ruined My Sex Life. And she was like, some of us like to wake up in the morning with bruises all over us and fucking feeling like we've been rode hard and put away wet, right? And and guys won't do that anymore. They won't do it because they're terrified. Right? They're terrified of being accused of being scumbags or rapists or freaking misogynists or whatever, right? All I gotta say is, if you want to take everything that is nuanced and beautiful and exciting and thrilling and dangerous and dark and gorgeous and throbbing out of human sexual interactions, right? Talk to Jonathan McIntosh.
Yeah.
And take his advice, because, I'm sorry, but,
his sex life is as exciting as a wet nap.
It was a wet nap for quite a while.
It was a wet nap,
and then they took it away and gave him a dry towel.
Yeah,
That's Jonathan McIntosh in a nutshell. But here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. He wants to talk about being exploited, right? I imagine every adult understands at this point what a pity fuck feels like when you give it.
That's what it's like to have sex with Jonathan McIntosh.
Yeah, no. If you, and more than that, that's what it's like to do business. That was Anita Sarkeesian's relationship with Jonathan McIntosh, and that's his subscriber base now. That's why he's the undersubbed of the week. 73,000. That's close to 100,000. That's a little silver medal that says, "Congratulations, John." Head pat. What you're doing is a good thing for everybody. Keep doing it, buddy. And most of those are pity fucks. Those are hate subscribes, just like mine. I look at the channel and I look at it and I'm like, wait, why do I keep looking at it? Why does it keep growing at subscribers? Wait, why am I subscribed?
Well,
So,
okay,
give every video of his a thumbs up.
if
Really, honestly, I'm not.
pity thumbs up,
It's the opposite. It's basically bearing mafia. Like, go and give Jonathan McIntosh's videos a thumbs up.
a pity
And-
prostate massage is what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, and leave a comment
take
being
it.
like, John, you're wrong as shit, but you know
I
what?
gave you
Like,
a thumbs up and
those-
wiggled it against your prostate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best most people can hope for.
It's
all right.
bearing mafia.
One last thing that we got to do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna catch up with super chats, and we're gonna kill the fucking stream.
Yeah.
Let's do our cringe of the week. Now we had another cringe of the week, but Nick, let me choose the cringe of the week. For those who don't know, I had an interaction with Mr. Steven Crowder. I don't hate Steven Crowder. I actually think he's really funny. I really, really do. But he put out a video. It's a satirical video with his dog, and I selected a very short excerpt from this video, and yeah, just enjoy. This is so fucked up.
The silent non-killer.
So really, as long as you're not having unprotected anal sex with strangers or sharing needles, you have nothing to worry about. Also, stop biting hobos.
Oh, because I did bite at him that one time. Wait, are you saying hobos or homo?
No. Hobos. Don't bite hobos.
Okay, are you saying hobos or homos? I'm still not clear.
No, hobos. You know what? Just play it safe. Don't bite either.
So this to me is the cringe of the week, and the reason why I decided this was the cringe of the week is that he made a satirical video with his dog talking about what he described as the AIDS epidemic that never happened, which by and large is completely false and not true whatsoever.
Piles of donkey shit.
But he got his friend to be on a video saying, as long as you don't have unprotected anal sex or share needles, you're not going to get AIDS. What the fuck did you just say? Horrible idea. Horrible idea. What the holy freaking fucking donkey shitting Christ did you just say? What?
This is why I guess the show should go into overtime from time to time.
I just can't. I can't wrap my fucking head around it.
It's the low-hanging fruit of stupid low-hanging fruit. It's basically picking up.
But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be because okay, here's the thing. Like we're all content creators, the three of us. We all make videos. We all like put forth our best ideas, that sort of thing. Steven has a producer. He has a booking agent. He has a whole team behind him that can like check all these extra things. It took me fucking 10 minutes, and I was like, wow, your video was bad, bro. It was super bad. And so I
Okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna say, and I'm not gonna pretend that he did research on this, but I am gonna say that if you are having heterosexual sex with somebody who is not an intravenous drug user and somebody who, even if you're a guy, right, and you're having sex with a woman and you're having vaginal sex with her, I think you have a 1 or 1.6% chance of getting HIV from going bareback with a woman who has untreated HIV. Untreated. Well, okay, so that's top viral load, right? If she's on right. meds to control it, right? That's going to reduce quite significantly if you're a guy, right? Because rates of acquisition by guys from heterosexual sex with women, from vaginal sex with women, very, very low. Very low. Which is why the whole fucking bullshit World Health Organization circumcision campaign in Africa is complete crap.
Right. No, and that's fair. Well, okay, so I have it here. So the thing is, there was a paper that he cited very specifically. And the reason why he made I don't actually know the reason why he made the video. But he cited these statistics, and the statistics were if you were to have sex and you were a heterosexual male, he doesn't say if you're a heterosexual male, he's like, if you're heterosexual, he doesn't say guy or girl, then you have a 0.03% chance of contracting HIV. Now, the thing is, that is if you're using condoms and she's on antiretroviral medications and she's asymptomatic, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you don't use condoms and you don't use antiretroviral medication and you don't use, and she's not asymptomatic, that goes up to 19%. And that's the problem. That's the problem, is like all of this is basically contingent upon, and these are CDC statistics that he's citing. He states this as you have no chance that you can get HIV if you're a straight dude. He doesn't even say a dude. He just says you have 0% chance if you're straight, right? Now, here's what's fucked up. Here's what's really fucked up. If you're a gay guy, and in his video, he's like, basically, if you're a gay man, you have an 86% chance of getting AIDS, which is not true. If you use the same statistics, you use condoms and HRV medications and are asymptomatic, then receiving as a gay man, you're at a 1.1% chance, and giving at a 0.09% chance. These are extremely low percentages. He doesn't frame it that way. He frames it as, if you're gay and you do some butt fucking, you're gonna get AIDS. But if you're not butt fucking and you're just a straight heterosexual Christian male,
all I gotta say is, if butt fucking is out, if butt fucking is wrong, I don't want to be right. Okay.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
So,
damn it, Karen. God damn it. Okay.
So, and that's where we drop the mic, right?
That's where we drop the mic. Last but not least, let's catch up on Super Chats, and we're going to call it a night. We got Naverful. Obligatory apologies for calling Jeff a thing. Have a beer on me, mate. Appreciate that. Say, brav, Jeff, ever tuck your dick and balls between your legs? Only when Wild Horses is playing on the radio.
And when he's wearing his little black dress, because it really ruins the line.
Unless senpai is looking for something like that. Kia, kawaii. Anyway, so, Kagal Mandoa, Karen, I love the sound of your voice. She's got a great voice. MC Lucas, Patriarchy, dun dun dun, Lightning, Base Mama, Princess Leia is a rules princess. Rhino says, Karen, I would make you sleep in the wet spot.
Everybody does. There isn't a man I have been with that has not made me sleep in the wet spot.
That's rude. That's so rude.
It's rude. That's just the way I like them.
All right. Well, Neerith says to John McIntosh, shut up, shut up, shut up. I'll fuck you up. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say from the YouTube Saints, thank you so much to Karen Straughan for your time. You've been an amazing guest. This has been a great fucking show.
Wonderful show.
Wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
How's Brian's fundraiser going?
Last I checked, we were almost there. We were like $4,000 or $5,000 away from the $36,000 goal. So, yeah, it just needs a little boost.
I'm gonna have
And
Nick put the link in the chat here. I'll update the description with it. Hopefully we can get it a little bit over, maybe even past the mark.
Yeah, and that's to essentially get him 6 months to a year of leave from work, and pay for the portion of his treatment that won't be covered by his insurance.
And it's testicular cancer, yeah.
It is testicular cancer, but it has actually spread to his abdomen and his lungs. So,
and we needed to save Brian. Brian's a brilliant guy. He's been absolutely sweet to me and to so many other people. He's brought a lot of joy and hope to many great people.
I'll say this too. Brian was the first person who actually gave me the platform to tell my story with Family Court in full.
Yeah,
it was the fireside chat.
Dude.
Brian is not just like a good YouTube person, but honestly a fucking very, very chill guy.
He's such a sweetheart.
Yeah,
he's an incredible human being, and we love him so much. We love him absolutely dearly. He's a friend of the Saints.
Anybody who will learn every one nut joke there is after having one of his testicles removed so that he can survive.
Hey,
that's a badass.
Oh, the best joke that anybody gave was on the video where we announced it. Somebody said, "When your balls are so huge, they try to kill you."
With that, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. For all of us for all the live viewers out there, thank you so much for taking the time, spending this with us. For everybody who's watching in the future, we love you. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Good night. Cheers to Brian, and we will bid you adieu.
Yeah,
good night,
check
everybody.
The description.
Link will be in the description once I do that and I refresh.
I'm doing it now.
Good night.
Good night.